Hey, what's up, Cerebralites? It's me, the Cerebral Diva. It is Thursday, March 16th, 2017, and I'm back with another video. Now, today's topic is going to be a very interesting topic, and it may be a topic that may even piss a few people off. But hey, if you're not pissing people off, you're not doing something right. So, I came across this really interesting article today on Essence, and the title of the article is, give me just 1 second here while I pull it up. It says, social media checks man who says black women are not coachable. I'm going to read it to you guys one more time. It says, social media checks man who says black women are not coachable. C-O-A-C-H-A-B-L-E. Coachable. As if you're a player being put into a game. Now, let me tell you guys what upsets me about when I hear stuff like this. Before I get into what I'm about to say, let me preface it by saying I believe love is love. I believe everyone should be able to like who you like, love who you like. It's not my business. Who you're sleeping with is, you know, if you're happy, I'm happy. As long as it's not a child, as long as it's a consensual relationship, then it's really not my business. So that's really sort of my stance. So whether it be man, whether it be, you know, male, female, whether it be woman and woman, whether it be polyamorous, whether it be pansexual, whatever the case may be, whatever sort of incarnation that love takes for you, as long as everyone is of the age of consent and it's a consensual relationship, it's really not my business. Now, so I say that because I don't want people to start thinking that as a black woman that I'm not okay with interracial dating, because frankly, it's really not my business. I mean, if you happen to fall in love with someone of a different race, then so be it. Who am I to tell another person who they should love? But the one thing that really gets my goat is things like this particular statement about black women not being coachable. And I'm going to tell you why it really upsets me. Very often well, first of all, based on the way that I speak, very often people will assume that my boyfriend, which I don't have a boyfriend currently, but when I am involved, or if people think that I'm involved, they very often assume that my boyfriend is white. Now, that's not to say that I would never date a white guy. I'm just saying I have never dated a white guy up until this point. But who knows what the future holds. And so when people assume that my boyfriend is white, I'm often curious, you know, what sort of energy am I putting off? What's making people draw that assumption as it relates to me? And it's interesting because even though I've only dated black men up until this point, I have to keep making that caveat, up until this point. I've only dated black men. Most of the black men that I've dated white women prior to me. And I would have conversations with the black men that I've dated and ask them why. Like, well, if you were typically attracted to white women, what made you date me? And very often the response I would get was, you don't act black. And so that is the moment where my blackness would come out, because what do you mean I don't act black? You know, as if black is a monolith, as if it's this sort of one-dimensional state of being that we all do act and think the same way, speak the same way, dress the same way, believe the same things. And that's just not the case. So when they would ask me, or when they would say to me, you don't act black, that was almost sort of a deal breaker for me, because I don't want someone to date me based on the fact that they believe that I'm sort of culturally disconnected from what it means to be black in America, because I'm very connected to what it means. I mean, almost to the point of being quasi-militant, if you will. I'm woke, for lack of a better term. I'm wide awake. So when guys would say stuff to me like you don't act black and that's the reason why they would date me, it would be an instant turn off for me. So when I read an article and it's a black man who's essentially sort of painting all black women with a brush and saying black women are not coachable, it's really frustrating to me as a black woman. And the reason it's so frustrating, to me is because I believe that when you make a gross generalization like black women have attitudes, black women are angry and mad, black women are not coachable, which is essentially what he's saying by are not coachable, which is essentially what he's saying when he says black women are not coachable, that we're angry, that we're obstinate, that we have a chip on our shoulder. And Solange has a song on her album. If you haven't heard the album Seat at the Table, you should definitely pick that album up. But she has a song, I believe it's called Mad. And in the song, she's basically saying, based on the life experiences that I've had, based on the struggles that I have a right to be mad. I have a right to be upset. I have a right to be not coachable. Because it's not that I'm not coachable, it's that I haven't come across a person who I feel is worthy of being coached by. So many men in today's day and age, and let me not do exactly what he did and paint all black men with a broad brush, because there are some good quality men out there, black, white, Asian, Native American, what have you. But since we're talking about generalizations, guys, please, if I'm not talking to you, if this doesn't apply to you, then then be unbothered, okay? Because only a hit dog will holler. But a lot of the reason why women have to be coachable, because I feel like in today's day and age, as a woman, you almost have to take on the role of a man, because a lot of these men out here today, for lack of a better term, are bitches. I mean, like, they don't have cars, they don't have jobs, they have criminal records, they're uneducated, they can't speak in complete sentences, they have multiple kids by multiple women. I mean, and they come with a lot of baggage. Now, if you come through the door and you have all of this baggage, child support issues, and because you're in arrears on your child support, you can't get a license, and you don't have a car, and they're garnishing your wages, they're taking your taxes, all of the sort of things that they do to men who are in arrears on child support. If you had a life of poor decision making, and then lo and behold, one day our paths cross, and as a woman, I have my stuff together, and I look at you and say, I don't think I want to take on that fight. That doesn't mean I'm not coachable. That means I'm smart. That means that the choices that you've made are things that you need to fix. Fix those problems, and then we can talk. I always tell guys very often, I can be your girlfriend or I can be your life coach. I cannot be both. I cannot, tell you the things that you need to do in order to become a man. You need to figure out that path on your own. I can support you. I can offer guidance. I can offer tutelage, but you can't come into my life broken and expect me to piece you back together. That's not my job. I'm not Gorilla Glue. I cannot put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That is a struggle you have to work through on your own as an individual. Now, being unwilling to be there to help you pick up the pieces, doesn't mean that I'm not coachable. It means that I have my own road to travel. And if your road is full of muck and mire, why would I want to hitch my wagon to that? That's just not a smart thing to do. Now, there are some women who are very nurturing spirits who sort of get a kick out of fixing a guy up, who get a kick out of helping put Humpty Dumpty back together again. I'm not into arts and crafts. I'm not into, putting pieces together and making something. That's just not my thing. I want to know if this is going to potentially be someone that I'm aligning my life with, that he's strong independent of me and not strong because of me. And so when I'm assessing that, if you come into my life and you don't have your stuff together, then I'm like, there's no possible way that I want to be involved with this guy. Now, there's this myth or fallacy that because black women are so rigid and because black women want, I'm not going to even say black women. Women want to date a man. You want a strong man, just like men want a strong woman. You want to know that whatever circumstances come your way as a couple, your man is strong enough to handle those things. And that's not something that anyone should have to be coached into being. You should be solid on your own as an individual, and even more fortified by the partner that you choose. So it just angers me so much when, especially in this day and age, when you see political marches, you see people in the streets, hands up, don't shoot, Black Lives Matter, and usually, with the exception of Sandra Bland, I can't think of a single case outside of Sandra Bland where these protests were about black women. These are black women in most cases, and I believe actually Black Lives Matter was started by black women, and I think a gay man as well, who were frustrated with the way that black men were being treated and felt like it was their duty and their obligation to stand up on behalf of black men. And when you see black men, and when I say black men, I have to keep giving this caveat. When I'm talking about black men, I'm talking about the specific black men who say that black women aren't coachable. And I'm not talking about all black men. So, just for purposes of this conversation, please, please, please don't comment telling me all black men are bad, because I know that. When you hear black men say stuff like that, and you see how hard black women fight for black men, it's upsetting to me that the same thing that we're out there in the streets marching against, protesting, which is racial profiling, when you make a statement like black women are not coachable, that too is racial profiling. You are profiling all black women and saying that we are curmudgeons, we are, just very difficult beings, in that we don't know how to be soft. We don't know how to be nurturers. And that's just not the case. What we very often don't have is an environment that's conducive to us letting down our guard, because so many men have been less than men in our lives. And so for that reason, you proceed with caution. So I don't want to, this is one of those subjects that I could probably make like 20 videos about, because, even in terms of online dating, right? You go on online profiles, and I can't tell you how many online profiles I've seen where it's a black man saying no black women. And I just sit there and I scratch my head, because I'm thinking to myself, if all men felt the way that you felt about black men or about black women, then your black ASS would not exist. So how dare you sort of bite the womb that created you, And once again, I'm a proponent for, love is love, and being able to love whoever it is that you choose to love. But there's a difference between, and even black or white women, I should say, or Asian women, if you come across, or Hispanic women, if you come across a black guy who's saying he only dates Hispanic women, or he doesn't date black women, that should raise an eyebrow to you, because to some degree, I think he's fetishizing women outside of the black race. And it's not necessarily that he's attracted to you as a person. It's more of a fetish. Now, if you're okay with being a fetish, then so be it. But to me, love should be about the heart. Love should be about the spirit. Love should be about the way that person treats you. So any black man who doesn't see black women as strong, beautiful, powerful beings is probably not a black man that I would want to date anyway. So I'm going to leave on that note, you guys. As always, in closing, oh my gosh. Yeah, as always, in closing, remember to live better, love harder, and think smarter. It's me, the Cerebral Diva, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.